Welcome to today's Explainer. So, have you ever felt that highly relatable, almost suffocating frustration of knowing you have just immense potential, but you find yourself completely stuck? You know the feeling. You've got the skills, you've got the drive, but the doors just won't open for you. Well, today, we are unpacking some truly fascinating teachings from a philosophical master who addresses what we're calling the paradox of talent. We're taking a deep dive into why having great abilities doesn't always fast-track you to the top of the mountain. In fact, sometimes it leaves you entirely blocked.
We're starting things off with a genuinely raw confession from a 30-year-old who was seeking some guidance. They admitted that, despite being naturally gifted, 20 years of their life were essentially derailed by stubbornness in this creeping, unacknowledged superiority complex. And man, this is such a common and painful trap for talented individuals. You realize way too late that the exact same gifts that made you special have somehow totally isolated you. It's a heavy realization for sure, but acknowledging it is the very first step we'll be analyzing today.
And that brings us to the core question driving this entire explainer. Why is life blocked when you clearly have the ability to succeed? I mean, if talent is supposed to be the master key to unlocking the world, why does it sometimes feel like the universe has literally changed the locks on you? We're going to analyze this central paradox deeply through the master's unique philosophical lens and really break down the hidden mechanics of talent, energy, and human interaction.
Okay, let's dive right into this. To truly understand the paradox here, we need to look at just how capable this specific questioner is. We're talking about someone who's been a quick learner since childhood, trained in martial arts since the age of 6, and get this, they are fluent in English, Chinese, and Japanese. That is a highly impressive, incredibly specific set of talents. I want to highlight this right out of the gate because it proves that their current struggles are absolutely not due to a lack of baseline skill or intelligence.
But contrast those high abilities with their actual day-to-day reality. They quit their job at a travel agency after just 18 months. They tried to launch this publishing and small film project and it completely fizzled out, didn't even get off the ground. And now, they find themselves totally unemployed, having to write to their former boss begging for a chance at re-employment, all while desperately seeking some kind of life direction. This stark contrast really highlights the harsh, real-world consequences of this paradox. High potential on paper is resulting in total professional stagnation and isolation in reality.
To explain why this happens, the master introduces a completely counterintuitive premise about how the universe actually operates. Look, nature does not grant you great talent so you can have an easy, breezy life. Actually, it's the exact opposite. Great ability is given to you with the strict expectation of greater effort. If you're given a lot, you are required to work harder and take on way more responsibility than someone who is given less. Assuming your talent is just a free VIP pass to an easy life is the fundamental error here.
And this brilliantly illustrates a much deeper philosophical split to help us understand why arrogance blocks us. We have to look at how this philosophy divides our existence into two distinct categories. On side A, we've got the physical body and material energy, which operates as one unified system of nature. On side B, we have our spirit, the non-material energy, which exists as separate individual entities. Let's break down exactly what this actually means for your life path.
First, let's look at the material side. The source posits that all physical matter in the universe, so the flesh and blood bodies we're walking around in, the environments we live in, the water, the earth, the whole shebang, all of it functions as a single interconnected physical environment. It's essentially a unified stage that's constantly shifting and changing forms based on environmental conditions, but it really operates as one cohesive whole.
Now contrast that with the individual spirit. The master explains that the we inside, our true selves, are actually these non-material spiritual energies. We are individual souls. We enter into this unified physical environment. We inhabit these material bodies, specifically to experience human life. We're individual entities placed into a shared physical space. And the entire purpose of this setup is for these individual spirits to interact, to learn from the environment, and most importantly, to grow.
So, let's tie this deep philosophy back to the questioner's superiority complex. If we are individual spirits meant to interact and grow within a shared environment, looking down on others fundamentally breaks the system. Viewing others with arrogance creates a massive clash. You're artificially separating yourself from the shared ecosystem, and because you aren't interacting harmoniously, your non-material energy, your spirit, cannot grow. It stagnates. And when your energy stagnates internally, your life path physically blocks up externally.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because it ultimately turns into a highly predictable, painful progression. The source outlines a direct cause and effect downward spiral.
Step 1. You receive great ability. Step 2. Because things come so easily to you, you start looking down on others who struggle. Step 3. Because you view them as lesser, you flat out refuse to share your talents with them. You hoard your gifts. And finally, Step 4. This refusal to interact leads directly to total isolation, spiritual stagnation, and severe real-world hardship.
Which leads us to this incredibly striking quote from the master. If you have ability but do not use it for others, you will become the loneliest person in the world. Just let that sink in for a second. It perfectly diagnoses the questioner's current state of unemployment and lack of direction by hoarding your talent, refusing to collaborate, and retreating into this unacknowledged superiority complex. You alienate absolutely everyone around you. You literally create your own severely blocked path.
This brings us to a pivotal turning point in our explainer. If hoarding talent causes our lives to block up and our energy to stagnate, the natural question is, so who should I use my ability for? How do we hit reverse on this downward spiral and actually unblock our potential? The source material transitions beautifully here, from diagnosing the philosophical problem to revealing a highly actionable practical solution.
So the crucial point is how we define true ability. The master introduces a massive paradigm shift right here. Ability is not a pedestal you stand on so you can look down at the world. True ability is a tool, and it is a tool specifically meant to be used for the benefit of those who lack that exact skill. It is absolutely not given to you to elevate yourself. It is given to you so you can elevate others who are struggling in the areas where you naturally excel.
To ground these abstract concepts, the master provides a really practical everyday example. Think about a chef. If you can make a Michelin star risotto, the universe didn't give you that amazing talent so you could sit alone in a room eating it all by yourself. You must use that talent to cook for and serve those who cannot make good food for themselves. The talent only finds its true purpose, its true light, when it's consumed and appreciated by others who lack it. Now, you might be wondering where you're actually supposed to start. You don't need to go out and change the whole world overnight. The source explicitly directs you to look right at your immediate surroundings. Where do you serve? Your company, your immediate neighbors, your colleagues, the people right in front of your face who need help. If you have a surplus of ability, deploy those gifts right where you are planted to assist the people in your daily life.
And here is why this matters so much to you, the person feeling stuck. There is an ultimate reward to this selflessness. It's an incredible irony, really. By dedicating your talents to serving others and helping those with lesser abilities, your own spiritual energy and your own life path naturally begin to grow and expand. You don't even have to force it. By unblocking others with your skills, the universe automatically unblocks your path.
The concrete advice to the questioner, and honestly to anyone watching who feels trapped by their own potential, is incredibly straightforward. You must entirely abandon the superiority complex. Just drop it. Stop elevating your abilities as something that makes you better than others. Instead, embrace a humble approach. Integrate your skills with the people around you to solve problems together. Your talent is just one piece of a much larger, collaborative puzzle.
And the master closes out this lesson with such a highly inspiring assurance. If you work together to solve problems, incredibly good paths will open up from now on. This is a message of complete redemption. It literally doesn't matter if you've been stuck for 20 years due to stubbornness. The second you shift your mindset from isolated superiority to collaborative service, the stagnation ends, and future success is completely within your grasp. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on today. Who is your outstanding ability directed towards literally right now? Is it pointed inward, fueling your own ego and keeping you isolated? Or is it pointed outward, serving as a tool to help those around you? The answer to that question might just be the exact key you need to unblock your life. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep sharing your gifts, and I'll see you next time.